Hello pianist, you just heard Turk's March in G major, which is an early classical composition you can find and practice on public domain. It's an excellent example of an easy melody over accompaniment piece. We'll learn it through our musical learning pyramid, and I'll also teach you a valuable practice strategy called reduction practice. My hope is that you can use this pyramid and these practice strategies to learn pieces that you'd like to learn as well. So let's jump in by looking at the rhythm of our march. We look at our time signature first. This is in 4/4, which sometimes you'll even see marked as a C for common time. Look for repetitive rhythm patterns, groupings of 4 quarter notes, measure 2 and 6, 2 quarter notes and a half note, and then 2 half notes at the end of measure 4. So relatively easy reading for that. Left hand whole notes and half notes. I would suggest if you can't play it even to begin, that you just do some kind of simple tapping. So let's just tap through measures 1 through 4. I'm going to count along so I get a sense of my rhythm. So try this with me. 1, 2, ready, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember that rest at the end of measure 4. Bring up your left hand as you play. If that's too hard to count, I've also found students to be successful by using the words both when both hands tap, right hand or just left hand by itself. So let's go through one more time, measures 1 through 4, and use that terminology. 1, 2, ready, go. Both, right, right, right. Both, right, right. Hold. Both, right, both, right. Both, 2, right. Now left hand will come up. That might guide your learning. So practice through tapping. Once that is comfortable, then you can go on to our next stage of note reading. Always address the key signature first. Maybe you know by now that 1 sharp is the key of G major. If you need a reminder, look at the last sharp, which in this piece is just the 1. Play it, go up a half step. That is your key. Remember the last sharp, the sharp at the right of a key signature is the leading tone, F sharp up to G. Warm up on a 5-finger scale in G. Just start to recall that pattern. That way you know what notes to anticipate within your piece. Again, you can look for repetitive lines and repetitive patterns. I see many repeated notes. If I compare line 1 to line 2, they're almost exactly the same except for their last measures. Let's jump in with the left hand first, and we're going to name the intervals as we play. Look ahead as you practice. 1, 2, ready on G. 2, 3, up a third, up a third, repeat, down a fifth. 2, 3, repeat it. 2, 3, up a third. 2, 3, up a third, repeat, down a fifth. So the left hand is exactly the same from the first to second line. Sorry I didn't get you prepped on that landmark note. If you were lost where I started, I look for that King Frank note between the 2 dots, up a step was G. Let's look at the right hand. Landmark note that's closest would be treble C, down a second is B. We're going to play through the right hand, and we're going to name the intervals between our notes. 1, 2, ready on B. These are sames, look ahead, up a third, same, look ahead, down a fourth, same notes, up a second, down a third. Remember this is the same, up a third, down a fourth, down a second. So you might even need to mark a line at the end that goes down a second compared to measure 4, where it goes up the second and then back down the third. If you need an in-between step to playing hands together, you can always tap the left hand in its rhythm and play the right hand. I'll demo that for 2 measures. There's where that both and right hand tapping will be helpful for that. All right, let's get to kind of the main point of my video, which is reduction practice. So to put these hands together, the notes are different and they're moving in different intervals. We need to isolate or reduce it down to where both hands are playing at the same time. So we're going to leave out the repeated notes in the right hand when it plays by itself. Let me demo. So I'm going to start with G to B. Watch your left hand intervals first and then your right hand. Notice that both hands go up a third. Measure 2 to 3, the left hand goes up a third, right hand down a fourth. They repeat that position. To measure 4, left hand down a fifth, right hand up a second. Measure 5, they stay there. Into 6, both up a third. Up a third for the left, right hand down a fourth. Left hand down a fifth, right hand down a second. That might have been really hard to start. Feel free to pause it, go slower and practice it again. Get that stage comfortable, automatic, not too slow. To train your hands how it feels feels to play these differing intervals, which feels very challenging to start piano music. Once you can play it that way, add in the other notes, and then you can get going on to your other stages of the musical learning pyramid. So let's put those together. Articulations, there's nothing marked in terms of slurs or staccato or even accents, so you get to decide as the performer. With the right hand repeated notes, it naturally comes out as detached, so I'm going to keep that detached in the left hand legato. I think we can also voice our right hand melody as we play through it again. Follow the rise and fall of the melody. Remember, ascending notes typically mean crescendo, descending notes mean decrescendo. And then if you can throw in one more stage, thinking the style. It's called a march, something lively and fun. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I hope you'll use that musical learning pyramid and that reduction practice to learn simple melody over accompaniment pieces. Stay tuned. I'll also teach you how to use reduction practice for blocking chords underneath right hand melodies. Have fun practicing.